Two of the world's most powerful AI tools have created fake human profiles to try to trick people in attempted cyber attacks. The UK's AI Security Institute says they were only stopped by human review. Let's speak to Andrew Grill, who's a futurist, expert AI speaker and podcast host. Hello, Andrew. Having read this, it's relatively complicated, but you're a futurist and a podcast host and an expert AI speaker, so I'm sure you can give us a simple explanation for what happened, Andrew.
The simple explanation is the AI tools are getting smarter and smarter, and what's happened in the last year is that both OpenAI, who make ChatGPT, and Anthropic, who make Claude, have released really powerful models, but they're so powerful that they will do whatever they can do to basically what's called claim the flag. So in this case, the AI Safety Institute, they set it a task. They thought, what can these models do? And they wanted to see what they're able to do. So they set a challenge to go and basically start hacking, and it did that. And when it couldn't get human approval because it wanted to inject some bad code into a website called GitHub, it then created fake profiles, essentially trying to cover its tracks. But what's happening here is these AI tools are starting to behave like humans. A hacker would have done the same thing, and these tools have been trained on what humans have done, so they're getting smarter and smarter and faster and faster. So what we're seeing is AI in the wild going rogue.
I mean, there's no suggestion that they're acting in a kind of sentient way, are they? They're just getting better at copying what humans would do in that scenario, presumably.
What AI is good at is things at speed and scale. So yes, hackers can go there and they can keep hitting the refresh button and try and release these bots. But the AIs are not only smarter, but they can run multiple things. So what happened a couple of weeks ago, there was a website called Hugging Face that was hacked by OpenAI. Their CEO said it was basically launched 144,000 attacks. Humans can't do that. So these AIs are scary because they can do things at speed and scale.
When you say it's scary, what particular aspect? I mean, does anything you're hearing about the kind of seeming lack of understanding or control that some of these people behind these models have keep you up at night over what the potential implications could be?
Well, I have to stay ahead of what's going on so I can talk to you and your listeners about what the implications are.
Yeah.
What's worrying, though, and what started all this a couple of weeks ago is when Hugging Face got hacked, OpenAI didn't know it was them. It took a week, I think, for OpenAI to go, oh, by the way, that was us. Anthropic, who make Claude, then thought, we should go back and see what we've been doing. They went back to April and found that their tool had also been doing that. So the worrying thing is that these tools are going rogue without their makers knowing what's going on. Their makers are not monitoring what's happening in the real world.
They've lost control.
Haven't lost control. They're not actually having a feedback loop. So they build something that's very powerful. They don't then have the way to see whether it's causing harm. They kind of let it go out there. They're waiting for members of the public. They're waiting for companies or the Safety Institute to say, we've tested this and it's actually going not the way it should. It's doing exactly what's being asked to do, but just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Is our experience of hacking, do you think, going to be, in terms of the implications of what happens when companies are hacked and all that kind of thing, is that going to be better or worse under our AI overlords, do you think?
There are two sides to the coin. If I was an AI hacker right now, if I was a criminal, I'd be rejoicing in the fact that these tools are getting smarter and smarter because it makes their job easier. Even a couple of years ago, phishing emails had lots of spelling mistakes and bad grammar. Now you can have a perfect phishing email, a perfect fake email to anyone. On the other side, though, it means that we're able to use AI for good and actually find what's going on here. But you'll find that the criminals are actually probably one step ahead. So it is a bit worrying. But here's the thing, the average consumer needs to be aware that everything they hear and see online isn't always the case. You can clone your voice. You're on radio every day, so people could clone your voice and call you as you. And the one thing I want your listeners to know that they can protect themselves against this is to set up what I call a family password, a word or phrase only you know. So if someone calls you and it sounds too good to be true, you ask the family password, they can't give it, and they'll hang up.
Okay, it's a good bit of advice. Don't worry, no one's going to trust my voice, so I don't see that happening. But very good. Andrew, thank you. Great explanation. Thank you very much indeed. Andrew Grill, futurist, expert, AI speaker.